All right, everybody. First off, I want to thank everybody for just tuning in this evening. I want to wish everybody a happy evening, but right here, what we are doing, we are going to be talking about love, peace, unity equals justice. It's about time that people in this nation see justice where justice is made. But at the same time, I believe that in order to make a mark, we need to be able to make a mark with love. In order to send a message, we got to send a message through love, through peace, through unity. There's a lot of hearsay. There's a lot of saying out there. There's a lot of people saying different things. A lot of people are for the destruction. That's the only way we're going to be heard. But for there to be destruction to be heard, I don't think that's accurate. What the destruction is going to do is it's going to cause bigger grief because of the people that we hurt during the destruction. I think it's sad that we lost a couple of lives because we prevented things from happening. There was a young boy who lost his life in a fire because the protesters, I'm not even going to say the protesters because there's peaceful protesters out there, but the rioters, I'm going to say the rioters did not allow the fire department to get through, and there was a lost life through it. And somebody had the audacity to say in war there's going to be loss. And I find that just to be very, very sad. That's just a sad case, And right here, this is actually a Zoom meeting. This is a Zoom talk where you guys can come in. Anybody could come in and talk their point, talk their view, what they think. I'm going to send out the Zoom ID number. The Zoom ID number is 827-9768-5452. Again, that number is 827-9768-5452. Right here, we're here to talk about love, peace, unity equals justice. We're also here to, this is also a respectful platform. Again, I am for love, I am for peace, I am for unity, and I don't want to tolerate no disrespect. So, if you come on, be respectful to the views, to the different points. But let's talk. Come on. Let's talk. Let's come on. I welcome you guys to come in through this Zoom meeting and let's talk about this. Let's talk about everything. I know that there is a message through all of it. And at the end of it, everything, I'm a Bible man. I'm a Bible believing man. So I believe that everything has its place. Everything has a direction. Because at the end of it, I do believe that biblical prophecy is what's going to be taking place through this time. Through no matter what happens, whether this was going to take place or not, on the George Floyd or the many others that have passed away through wrongful justice. I believe that there was just so many things that have taken place. I'm myself, I'm a Mexican, but my wife, she's half black, she's half white. My kids are all half black. Yeah, I'm one of them ones that have baby mama drama, but it's not really drama. It's just, I have some previous marriages where I have 3 boys, a little girl, and they are half black. And not saying that it gives me a place to speak or anything, but what does give me a place to speak is the fact that I do have a viewpoint, and we all do, and this is just a platform to speak that our views. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and send out the Zoom ID number again. That's 827-9768-5452. We want everybody to come on in. Anybody who has a viewpoint in this, not just not too much about the political part of it, but I am about what should we be doing as people. I have many different things. People believe the looting and the rioting is necessary. There's people that believe that it's not necessary. There's I know that I actually ran into a point where somebody says that I don't have a place to speak, because I'm not black, that if I'm not black, that I shouldn't be speaking, that only if I was black then I should be allowed in it. But I'm just like, man, it doesn't matter. We're all in this together. We're all in this together. No matter who it is, no matter what it is, we're all fighting for a place of equality. I'm for everybody in this world. I want everybody to be able to have the opportunity to come up. I want everybody to have the opportunity to be able to make it. And at the end of it, I wish we could just be a nation that is full of love and peace and unity and righteous justice. Justice that is going to be righteous. I wish that this was a place that we could just do it. I really wish that things wouldn't happen because we're a certain color or we're a certain race, or we're from a different place, or different backgrounds, different ethnicities, different parts of life. People have ups and downs, and we all face the same types of problems in everything that we do. We all face the same types of problems. We all have responsibilities. When all women give birth the same way, all men work the same way, all men bleed the same way, all men want to make it, all women give birth, all women bleed, all women get hurt, all women have feelings. We're all the same, and we have to be able to see that. So if you're one of them ones that believe that because I'm not black and I shouldn't talk, well, you know what? Your life does matter to me, and I will speak. And at the same time I'm speaking, I will wash your feet, because I do care. This is just a time that we need to be able to all come together, and we need to be able to speak all together. But I don't believe that destroying our place, destroying our home, I don't believe that that's what time it is. So again, this is a Zoom meeting talk. Anybody is welcome, as long as you're respectful. The meeting ID is 827-9768-5452. Again, that's 827-976-8452. I want different people to come in. Tell me what. Joseph Anderson, you said, what about me? What about you, my brother? Tell me, what about you? Do I care about you? Yes, I do. What is it what about you? I see you here watching. Why don't you zoom in? 827-9768-5452. You can catch right here on Zoom, and we could talk. But I believe that everybody is equal. Everybody is equal in my eyes, and I believe that everybody is equal in God's eyes. God says, for the Jews and the Gentiles, if my people won't worship me, then I have the Gentiles do it. And if the Jews and the Gentiles won't do it, he'll have the rocks and the trees worship him. So I believe that we're all the same. We're all the same, and that we should all be about righteous business. That righteousness, being able to pursue a peaceful place, a loving place, a place where we're all together, You know, I don't, you know, there's a bunch of things that we could talk about. There's a bunch of things that can be about. I mean, it seems, I mean, it's not just, this isn't just about George Floyd, but what about Trayvon Martin? You know, what about him? That was an unrighteous killing. You know what about him? There's different things that can take place. You know, there's different things that happen. There's more deaths out there. There's more deaths that happened that was unrighteous. And I'm not just talking about just with black people. It's happened with white people. I mean, you got white on white crime. You have brown on brown crime. You have the black on black crime. There's so many different crimes out there that's taking place. Cops on the people, cops on the blacks, cops on the whites. I've seen and I've heard of many stories, you know, but you know, this is a big point right here that is taking place, that there is things that need to change. There's things that need to happen in this nation. There's different things that need to happen. Just, you know, what else is there to say? You know, I was reading something in the Bible today in the book of Psalms. As a matter of fact, let me find it. It was one of the chapters, and it was just talking, and basically it was just kind of pertaining to our time. You know, the things that we're facing. You know, this time of the craziness. You know, the things that people that persecute us, the people that downright just mess with us. You know, there's different things that just happen. You know, we got Joseph Anderson, man. Thank you for staying tuned in, my brother. You saying, well, pray, brother. Amen. Thank you. God sees your heart, and you know, and that's really the end of it, Joseph. You know, that God does see our heart. God sees every single one of our hearts, and we're gonna answer for our hearts. You know, out of the essence of the heart, the mouth speaks. Out of the essence of the heart, actions take place. You know, sometimes it's not about just what we're saying, but it's about what we do. You know, it's not just about what we say, man. It's about what we do over here. You know, and our hearts do need to be in the right area, and that's for all people. That's for all people, because I've seen good in all, and I've seen bad in all. You know, but why don't, Joseph, I'm curious about your point of view, man. Why don't you zoom in over here? 827-9768-5452. You know, I'm curious about what you have to say. Let me I'm gonna look up these scriptures real quick that I wanted to share. I believe it was Psalms 120. I was reading earlier today, this morning, in my when I like to have coffee with God. But here we are. Yes, it's Psalms 120. In my distress, I cried to the Lord, and He heard me. Deliver my soul, O Lord, from my lying lips, and from deceit, and from a deceitful tongue. What shall be given to you, or what shall be done to you, you false tongue? Sharp arrows of the warriors, with coals of the broom tree. Woe is me that I dwell in Meshech, that I dwell among the tents of Kedar. My soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace, for I am for peace. But when I speak, they are for war. You know, the number again is I'll post that for you, is 827-976-8452. So, you know, right here I'm reading this part in Psalms 120, you know, and there's a distress right now. There's a distress that's going on. There's a distress that's taking place. And even in our times right now, that there's a distress. There's many things going on. There's different things going on, and you know, and it's a cry out. It's a cry out from our nation, and through this we're going there. there's spirits that are being roused up. Spirits and anger and feelings and emotions, all these different things, they're just rising up, you know. And what is going to come out of our heart? What's going to come out of our heart? You know, the Bible says that love conquers the multitude of evil. The Bible talks about that I know that this is the hard part. Bible says turn the other cheek, and I know that's hard. I don't know what I would do if someone were to come up and slap me or something like that. I don't know what I would do. But the truth of this is the truth of the matter, is that if we are people to learn to begin to honor God with our actions, begin to honor God with the way we live, or begin to honor God in how we speak, then what will happen? What will happen? The person that has the anger and all that stuff, it's going to be hard for them to retaliate. Have you ever responded to a situation with just love? Love shuts it down. Love shuts down the anger. Love shuts things up. You know, just by a hug or by a peace, just by a hug or just a peace offering or something. Love shuts down hatred. Love shuts down anger. Love shuts down all these things. And this is how we need to react. Some people have said, "Oh man, you know, there's a person that said that I don't have room to speak, and that it should only be the black people." Well, minorities. Let me put it that way. If you black people, we're all people of color is basically a minority, right? And if we don't come together in a time like this, if we don't come together, all colors, if we don't come together, you're just going to be a smaller portion of the minority. And that smaller portion is going to be hard to hear. I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to hear. You know, that's why, and it's going to be much easier to shut that minority down. But if all minorities were to come together, then it would be the majority. And then when the majority speaks, if the majority acts together, then it would be a bigger effect. Can you imagine if all minorities did this? Stop for whatever, a week, 31 days, a month, we just stop spending money. If we just stop spending money. I love this. I love this. This was one of T.I.'s idea, was don't spend money. Blackout. We do not spend a dime. Man, there would be such a hit in the economy. Because, sorry, but the minorities are the biggest spenders. We minorities are the biggest spenders. Think about it. Back in the days when Martin Luther King, the whole march with oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name. The one that started the whole bus thing, the one, you know, that wouldn't give up her seat. Can you imagine when all of the colored people, all the black people, they stopped riding the bus? Money, that the buses were the biggest part of the money at that time. When they stopped riding the buses, now things were happening, and it got worse before it got better. But Martin Luther King wasn't about the violence. Martin Luther King, he didn't say, "Oh, we're gonna burn places down." They didn't riot. They didn't loot. They didn't riot nor loot. They marched, they protested, and they fought with economy. That's how they fought. They fought with the economy. They took a hit. They made sure that the economy was going to take a hit. You know, and that's what we got to do. That's how we have to fight. We got to fight where it's going to hurt. The economy. The economy. 30 days. A whole month. Rosa Parks. That's right, Joseph. Thank you. Rosa Parks. I cannot believe, I was just thinking about her all day, and I couldn't, and at this moment, I could not remember her name, so I apologize. Not trying to offend anybody. Rosa Parks, that's right. You know, but all day, you know, can you imagine, 30 days, we just stop spending money. Let's hit that way. That's how we're gonna make a difference. That's how we're gonna be like, okay, you guys don't want to hear us, boom, we'll just hold everything, don't spend nothing, don't matter of fact, don't spend nothing. Don't find out how you could buy everything cash. Find out how you could just buy things cash from the people just within, or maybe just within the minorities. We work together and we create that circle of within each other. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if we did something like that? Martin Luther King didn't fight by burning down buildings. It was fun, not funny, but there's something crazy, and I don't want this being taken out of context. And this was before somebody I know posted it as a joke. This person that I know is nowhere near violence or anything like that. But I saw the post even before he did it. He did it as a joke. Probably not the best time to make a joke, but he did it as a joke. But someone posted, you know, if violence ain't gonna make an answer, and then they posted where Jesus was in the temple flipping over tables. Let me give you some history on that. Number one, that was the temple. That was God's house. So that was his house. That was his house. And those tables, they belonged to him as well. So if he was going to make a mark, he did it with his own stuff. He did it with his own house. He destroyed his own place. He flipped over his own tables. And he kicked all them people out that were abusing his house. You know, so it's a way different concept of what's happened there and what's happening now. So, you know, we got to be responsible and this thing is not, you know, we can't take these things out of context. We got to be responsible with it, and we can't allow people to misinterpret the Bible for their justification. The Bible is not for justification, it's for self-checking. So, you know, again, I want to throw out the Zoom ID number. The Zoom ID number is 827-9768-5452. Let me hear I want to hear your views. I want to hear the viewpoints that are out there. You know, we got this going down on different watch parties. You know, there's different watch parties. You know, do me a favor if you're doing it. Start a watch party with it. Start a watch party so we could try to get some more viewers in. The viewers are going up and down. There are people coming in, going out, coming in, going out. You know, but let's start a watch party so that we can try to get. Let's see if we can get some more viewers in. I want some viewpoints though, man. Let's get someone to zoom in with me. 827-9768-5452. That's the Zoom ID number. So I see you zoom in, then I will definitely accept your Zoom, and we'll get you in here. You know, there's so much going on in a time like this. You know, the feelings. I know just the other day I was driving through Hollywood, and I seen some protesting. You know, the protesting was peaceful. You know, a lot of people talking about the cops are getting. The cops is preventing the danger, the destruction. They're trying to prevent that. I seen the cops going with over here in Hollywood. I seen them going with the protesters. You know, they were blocking off the streets. That's what I seen. So, you know, it's easy to say that there's good cops, there's bad cops. There's just like there's good people and bad people, you know. But, you know, what are we going to be? That's right there. That's the bottom line with it all, is what are we going to be? What are we going to be as we're out here during these times? You know, But I just want to, I just wanted to continue just to press in with these meetings. So again, if you guys want to zoom in, the number is 827-9768-5452. I'll go ahead and I'm gonna put this number into the comment box again. 9768-5452. Zoom in. That's the ID number, and let's be a part. Let's hear some viewpoints out there. Again, I wanted to just share. I want to read this scripture again. It says, "In my distress, I cried to the Lord, and He heard me." In my distress, this is a distressful moment, and if the body of Christ, the Christians, that includes me, if we can get down and just pray for a time like this, God will hear the call. He's going to hear it. He says, in my distress, I cried to the Lord, and He heard me. He is going to hear us, church. We got to pray. We got to pray at a time like this. We need to pray for the peace. We need to pray for the love. We need to pray for the unity. We need to pray for righteous justice to take place in a time like this. It goes down all around the world, different things. Oh, my microphone decided to make a fall. That was weird. But there's a time, church, that we have to be able to just come together and pray. We need to be able to pray at a time like this. We need to be able to come together, and we need to be strong together, and this goes for all. This is for all. We need all people to be a part, to work together. I'm running out of things to say. I don't know why. Last time we were doing this, we were getting we got quite a few people, and we talked for a long time, so if you're out there and you're watching, Zoom ID number 827-9768-5452. Zoom in. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Let's chat about it. Of course, we're gonna be respectful to each other's opinions, but let's talk about it. I'm gonna go ahead and let's come together. I love right here in Psalms 120, Psalms chapter 120, starting verse 6. It says, "My soul has dwelt too long with one who hates peace. I am for peace, but when I speak, they are for war." We have the opportunity where we can be the people of peace, no matter who is around, no matter who's watching, no matter what kind of mark you think you're gonna need. There's one thing that's really gonna be seen. There's gonna be one thing that's really gonna be heard, and that is love and peace and unity. Love, number one. Bible talks about love being love is going to be the thing to conquer the multitude of sin. Love is the very first key to all things. Hey, Sister Maria, how you doing? Thank you for tuning in. This is our Love, Peace, and Unity channel. We are talking love, peace, unity equals justice. We're talking about this time of just injustice. So, if you want, you can zoom in. 827-9768-5452. That's the meeting ID number. I also know that you're probably getting ready for Bible study, so, have a good time. Enjoy. I'm going to just set the ID number out there for anybody. Again, we've got a few viewers, a few more people just logging in. You guys, this is a time of love, peace, unity equals justice. This is a Zoom ID. This is a Zoom meeting where anybody can Zoom in. I got the ID number in the comments. I'll go ahead and say it again. The number is 827-9768-5452. More than welcome to come Zoom in and let's talk about your views on love, peace, unity, and justice, or equals justice. You know, this is a time where we all need it. This is a time where we need to realize love is going to be the thing that conquers the multitude of evil. Peace is going to be the way we react, and unity is going to be the thing that we all come together, because when we do things in unity, that is going to be the sound. That is going to be the trumpet that shakes the rattle. That's going to be key right there. You know, I believe that during this times we have good views, we got bad views, and we have good seed and we have bad seed out there. I would like to know your guys' viewpoints. My viewpoint personally is peace, love, unity equals justice. We got to come together. We got to come together and be together, right? You know, the Rosa Parks situation, they hit right where it counted. They stopped riding the buses, and they made an impact because they affected the finances. They affected the money. And I love T.I. when he did this. He said, blackout. Don't spend money. I say don't do it for 30 days. If we cannot spend money for 30 days, we are going to make an impact like never before. It's going to be an impact like never before. If we can work together, help out our neighbors, work together and help out each other. And if we were to work in unity and not spend money for 30 days, man, we would make such a sound. Such a sound. We didn't need to destroy businesses and loot businesses. I don't agree with that. I don't believe that we need to do that, because through those businesses, we're hurting others. We're hurting our neighbors. We're hurting the ones that worked from ground up. I would be devastated if someone came and destroyed my business. I mean, just my son works at a Jack in the Box. They destroyed the Jack in the Box, and now he's out of work. He has a son. You know, so there's just we're affecting lives when we destroy businesses. When we loot businesses, we're hurting people. We're hurting those jobs. We're hurting those people that have homes. We're hurting those people that have lives, that have kids. My son, again, he worked at a Jack in the Box. It got destroyed, and now he can't even. He's not at work. He's been out of work. So since he's been out of work, he has a little boy that he needs to support, that he feeds. And now he's not at work, so he's hitting me up. He's hitting me up because of it's a time of struggle now, But if you guys know my son is over 6 feet tall. He's outdone me. And he's calling out to his dad, I need help. I haven't been at work for a while ever since everything they destroyed over there where I work, so I'm having a hard time providing for his son. No problem, I'm here for you. But that right there is a thing that is like, hey, and you imagine if I wasn't here to be with my son, he would probably struggle even more. So imagine if we were to all come together, not destroy each other, but to make it work between each other. And if we were to not spend money for 30 days, man, we would make an impact financially. Again, I'm in this time where it's like, you know what, we got to be a peaceful people. We got to be these people that are that are going to show love throughout the hate. We got to be people that are going to show the peace throughout the chaos. And we got to be the people that come together when there's division. You know, so let's do that. Let's just do that. How do we do that? Number one, we got to just lift each other up, you know. Stop the people that are destroying things. We got to be the bigger people and stop them. You know, because we're not making no kind of impact. We're forcing law to come down harder. We're forcing laws to step in even more. And I know a lot of people, oh, it's not constitutional. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not constitutional. There is what you call not Bill of Rights. There's not mandates. There's what are these things called? My God, I'm always going blank with these certain words. It's just a time where, you know, where we gotta. It's those I want to say that they're bills, but they're the little writings that override certain things when things are getting out of hand. You know, so when it comes down to want to talk about martial law and everything, that's going to be based on us. What are we going to do? That's based on what we do. You know, enforcing things to happen is going to be based on us. Unless we could be people that are going to do things in the right way so that it can be heard. You know, we've been seeing across the nation that we're not alone. We're not alone. You know, but it was like this. I love what Jensen Franklin said. Sometimes there's people they're saying things, and it just seems like you're not being heard. And that's because there's kind of a blinding that's taking place. Now, Jensen Franklin, he's a white pastor, you know, but I love what he says. And the bottom line at the end of it, he says, "We're sorry." You know, he goes, "I'm sorry." He says, "But we hear you now. We hear you now. We hear you loud and clear now." You know, and I've been seeing it throughout the nation. I seen that there is there has been an overall unity. Oh man, Justin King, he's one of the ones that we had come in for a while, but the last time we came in, we had a good talk with him. I know that he's been getting some grief, but because he's talking peace too. He's talking peace and unity, and people are telling him, and it's like, he's like, man, you know, but he's at work right now, so man, that would have been a good one if we can have him in. But you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. You know, nobody wants to zoom in. That's fine right now. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll end it with this. Unless you zoom in and we can keep this thing going. You know, there's many things that we can look at. There's many things out there that have injustice. But I'm gonna take us back to this scripture. Bible says, "In my distress I cried to the Lord." When he says I cried to the Lord, he means that he spoke to God. He spoke to God, and the Bible says, "And he heard me." Deliver my soul, O Lord, from my lying lips and from a deceitful tongue. There's so many things out there that people are twisting. They're twisting things around. But guess what? That's why God allowed the phones. For someone that God has allowed someone to be smart enough to create a phone that has a camera so that the truth can be told. We have to look at these things. You guys, we can't act like God is not on our side. He has allowed things to take place so that we could speak loudly. Yeah, he's allowed phones to have cameras. You can film things. You know, you can film things now, and he has allowed things to take place so that things can be heard. Before, there was no cameras, so it was your word against their word, and of course they're gonna stick up for their word, right? Because that's the cop. But now it's their word against video. Now it's their word against proof. And guess what? We hear you now. We hear you now. We hear everything now. We hear everything that's taking place now. We hear everything. I mean, I personally have heard it, you know. I've heard it a long time ago. I do have a viewpoint on a lot of things. Our last broadcast, I shared a good point. You know, but many of us did. That came on, you know. My viewpoint is that I hear that there's stereotypes, and I hear that there's different things out there that you can't really control, but there's something that you can control, and that's you. If you don't want to be stereotyped a certain way, sometimes we have to make changes. You know, sometimes we have to make changes because the norm. If this stereotype is what's normal, if this is the look of that stereotype and that's what's normal, you're going to be labeled like that. I was sharing about how back in the days I was one of those break dancers, and the break dancers wore big baggy clothes, and then in Orange County, inside of Orange County, the taggers wore big baggy clothes during that time. So when I would walk home from school or go to the liquor store or go to Winchell's that was across the street, I used to get stopped a lot just to check if I had paints or markers or things like that because of how I looked. My dress code imitated a tagger, but then when the cops would be like, "Well, why do you dress like that?" It's easier to dance, because if you had baggy clothes, it was easier to move within the clothes, you know. But they couldn't understand that. They didn't understand that I was a break dancer. They didn't understand that I did that. So it was easier. It was easier for me to move, you know. But these are the different. I know some people don't like what I'm saying about, you know, sometimes you have to change. You do. That's the bottom line. I know you probably don't want to change, but that's just pride talking. But if you were to break down pride and release, see, God can work with you if you're willing to drop the pride. God can change you if you're willing to drop the pride and realize this is an issue, that this is a big issue, you know. I mean, you see the stereotypes all the time, and here's the bottom line, you know. I'm not for what happened, and I hope you guys ain't misinterpreting me. I love people. I want things to be right. When I look at people, I try not to look at people in the wrong way or anything like that. Sometimes I get thoughts. You get thoughts, you know, but who doesn't, you know? Tell me you haven't walked by somebody and if you're a woman, you hold your purse a little closer, or, you know, you grab your wallet, or you could be walking by someone and you're just looking hard, just a little bit harder than what you normally do, because you see a person, and by the appearance, there is a natural, there's a natural reaction in what you see. So you react according to that viewpoint, you know. But at the end of it, bottom line, and this is what I'm trying to say, is sometimes our viewpoint and our actions and the way we see things, sometimes we have to move them to a point where it's against what we feel inside, because that can be the final outcome of whatever is taking place. Sadly, you know, even based, you know, let me put it to you this way. Sadly, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes there's just things that are just against you, and you know, that was clearly demonstrated throughout the videos, throughout the different views of George Floyd, and when they were arresting him, and I don't believe that he deserved what he got at all, you know. And his actions did not seem violent at all. It did not seem cruel. It did not seem out of hand. It's saying no sign of resistance, and he did not deserve it. And sadly, it happens. But this is maybe his death, you know, was gonna be the death. And you know, clearly his death was the death that opened up the eyes of America. It opened up the eyes of America, and they hear us now. They hear it now. We hear you now. I'm gonna say it all kinds of ways. I hear you now. They hear you now. We hear you now. They hear us now. You know, but let's do this right. Let's do this in a peaceful way. Let's do this in a righteous way, and let's do this in a way that is going to honor God. We got to be able to honor God in all our actions. We got to honor God with all our moves. We got to honor God with our heart. We got to honor God with our thoughts, and we got to move only according to his word. His word says that love conquers the multitude of evil. He will give us peace. He will be our refuge. He is the one that will get all our revenge. And I'm sorry, God's revenge, that has been the best revenge I've ever seen take place. The best revenge that I've ever seen. And I personally, one, can vouch for when you let God move, everything else is out the door. And when I would just say, okay, God, it's in your hands. Whatever you do, it's on you. You know, if you read back in some of these other Psalms of David, you know, David was, God, when I'm scared, I'm going to trust in you. God, when my enemies are coming against me, I'm going to trust in you. God, when these people are talking bad about me, you're going to be the one to shut those mouths. God, when you're the one that when the enemies are ready to come against me, you are the one that's going to allow me to prevail. And church, body of Christ, anybody else that's listening, if you want, I'm just going to say, if you want to honor God, we got to do it with our actions. We got to do it with our actions. You know, no reason to loot, no reason to destroy, no reason to cause corruption, no reason to indulge in the violence. If we want peace, we got to deliver peace. We want love, let's deliver love. And if we want unity, let's be together. You know, that is going to be the way that justice is going to really be taking place, and that is how it is going to happen. That's the way I see it. That's the way that God, that's what God is putting in my heart, and that is what I have to share. Amen. So, you know, if you guys are out there, love you guys, man. Continue to be safe. out there. Again, man, love, righteousness. Do things in a righteous way. Do things in a God-fearing way, in a loving way. And I'm telling you, you're going to get the best results. Love you guys. Continue to stay safe out there. Here for love, peace, unity equals justice. We want justice in all rounds. Continue to tune in next Tuesday in the morning. We're going to have Coffee with God. We read the Bible in chronological order. Saturday, I'm going to have a live broadcast concert. It's going to be a broadcast concert. There's artists from throughout the nation, and they're going to be zooming in live, and we're going to be performing. They're going to be performing. We're going to have rap artists, R&B singers. They're all Christian artists. And there's gonna be some spoken word. We're gonna have many different artists, man. There is a lineup, and we're gonna be doing this. It may just last all day. It just may last all day. So, be ready to tune in on that on Saturday. It's gonna be right around noontime. I'm gonna be sending the flyer out soon. Subscribe and follow the Christside Production page. Follow us on YouTube, also at Christside Productions, and give us some support. Trying to build the YouTube page. But again, let's go. Peace, man. Love, peace, and unity for justice. Amen. God bless you guys. Love you guys. Stay safe out there, and have a wonderful evening.